Wait, stop. That's the one. Welcome to ZEN TENN Speaks, a show where I make new friends and reconnect with old ones. A show where everyone's stories may inspire you to tell your own story. In this podcast, we encourage everyone to get rid of shame, guilt, fear, doubt, and judgments for themselves and for others, and replace those with love, empathy, compassion, understanding, kindness, and to do your best in everything that you do. In essence, to get rid of things that no longer serve your well-being. To be true to yourself and be honest with others. No need to be politically correct. That's out the window with 2020. Here, we tell the raw, uncensored story, your story, and tell the truth as you see it. Make sure you live your fulfilled life without permission or apologies. So, if you have a juicy, interesting, raw, unapologetic story and inspiring, please make sure to contact me at zentenn21@gmail.com. It is ZENTENN21@gmail.com. Or you can find me on most social media platforms. You know it. The IG, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, OnlyFans. I mean, not really. But yes, OnlyFans. Just kidding. Not. As you may guessed it, my name is Zen, and welcome to the show.
And I apologize about the background. I want to do it in the house, but we have guests over, and it's just crazy. So I came to the car.
Oh, it's fine. I want my podcast to be kind of like when you get up in the morning with your hair undone, and that's the real you. So
yeah, exactly. This is me, man. This is me.
Yeah, I like that.
You don't mind if I smoke or anything, do you?
Do whatever you want. I promote, man. Yeah, I promote live life to the fullest as long as
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm all about living.
Yeah, totally. As of last year, I stopped the bullshitting myself, like bullshitting being basically like not living yourself because of other people, what they might shame you, guilt you about, or judge you about.
Yeah, man.
As long as you're not hurting anyone. Yeah, as long as you're not hurting anyone physically.
Yeah.
Do you. So yeah, totally.
Let me get comfortable, man. I got my jacket on. It's cold out here. But I'm in the car now.
It's cold you're in Texas or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm in Austin. It's like 40, 30 degrees out here. It's not cold, but it's cold for Houston.
Yeah, cold
for Austin.
Texans.
Yeah. I'm actually from Cleveland though. I'm actually born in Ohio, like right there by Lake Erie.
Okay, so it's cold
right
there.
Oh yeah, it's very cold there. Yeah, I just got back.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna start. All right, today we have a guest. Our guest today is Malik Edwards. And Malik is a third generation born and raised Jehovah's Witness, although he isn't currently a Jehovah's Witness anymore. His father is an elder and his mother is a pioneer. So Malik and I met in one of those ex-Jehovah's Witnesses groups, and I'm very intrigued to hear his story, and it's very a juicy one. So welcome, Malik, to the show. Welcome, sir.
How you guys doing? How you doing?
Awesome. Thank you for being here. So tell us about who you are and what brings you joy.
Wow. Well, should I start? I'll start from the beginning. I'm a third generation ex-JW. Born into it. My father is a super elder. That's what I call him. My mom was a regular pioneer for like 20 some years. So family's deep. So basically, family is deeply involved, So I was, because my father's so deeply into it, in the hall I went to, all the young guys were like, we were competing with each other for, positions. You know, basically, they want to do the stage, you want to do the mics and stuff, you know, so it's crazy. So I sat in the front row, me and my guys, and I was the first one doing the mics. And when I was 9 years old, I was a publisher. You know, 9. Didn't know anything about life yet, you know, but I already published. And then at 12, I got baptized. And I was so gun-ho. Basically, every summer, I would do what's called pioneering. I was pioneering the whole summer. And every winter, I was pioneering doing the winter break. It's crazy, man. A kid, gun-ho. But, you know, me being me, I was always kind of rebellious. I was always kind of on the fence with things. And so, you know, of course, girls came and sports and stuff like that. So I found myself getting in trouble. And one thing about me, though, is I couldn't do the double life thing. I couldn't be, you know, basically, one thing about me, I've always been a real person. I've always been pretty honest with whoever I'm dealing with. And when I was in the hall, I was gun-ho in the hall. I was a #1 soldier. You know, I was doing everything, mics, pioneering, everything. And then when I got in trouble, but I still believed in it. I mean, I still believed in it. Even when I was disfellowshipped 2 times, I still believed in it, you know, all these years. You know, I would go to Memorial every now and then. I was doing what I was doing out here, but I still, you know, believed in Jehovah's Witnesses, and I still would even defend them, which is crazy. And it wasn't until, I don't know if I'm going past your questions or not, but
yeah, you is.
I am. I've got to go on too far. Okay, we back up.
I would.
I was born. First name's Craig Edwards. I don't go by the name anymore. I go by Malik. I've gone by Malik for about 20 years now. MK, my friends call me. I was basically born, raised a Jehovah's Witness. I woke up last year, saw some things that I couldn't believe, and because of who I am, I have to say something. I can't just be quiet about this shit. It's just too much wrong. It's like people get mad about the cops, whatever, but they don't do anything about it. Sit back and be quiet. So that's why I'm here. But to bring me joy, honestly, right now, since I've been out here, is living, doing what the fuck I want to do. Excuse my French. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't let anyone tell me what to do. That's why I'm self-employed. That's why I work for myself. I have a thing with authority. I think that's probably because of how I was raised. All those rules and all that structure, so-called structure, maybe just I can't stand that shit now. So now I just live my life, man. That's it. I live my life.
That's great. I was also raised being Jehovah's Witness, and I was the golden boy, goody two-shoe kind of Jehovah's Witness thing in the front row on all this stuff as well. Although I didn't get into trouble because I've later on learned that I was codependent and I became a people pleaser. So maybe that's why, but I had all this stuff in my head, but I was a people pleaser, putting on a face to do my best because like, I've noticed I have a extreme personality. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the fullest. And if I'm going to leave to the fullest, which I did. Like when I left, I never looked back. I didn't even question nothing. I just left. Yeah. And when I was in with armor and defense and everything as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I can totally see a similar story here. So what was going Jehovah's Witness in the real world? Let's say if you were a Jehovah's Witness and then going to school, and when did you get disfellowship? What age?
Oh, young. Twice. The first time I got probably proved. So the first time I was 19, and the second time I was about 21. Okay,
so were you working and going to school then? In the real world?
Yeah. I was always working since the age of like 15, 16. I've been working, and so yeah. And then when I got disfellowshipped, I was in college at the time.
So now my question is, how was being a Jehovah's Witness, living in the worldly world? Like, how was that for you?
Like now or like back then?
Oh, back then. Back then,
Well,
if you
back
can.
then, yeah. I mean, I always been myself. Like even when I was a witness, I was still myself. That's why I was like, I guess everybody knew me because I just didn't give I didn't give a damn about just whatever. When I was younger, yeah, middle school, early high school, I was kind of quiet, just hung out with my close friends. But then when I got a little older, I'm like, man, I'm just gonna be myself. I get more things accomplished that way instead of trying to hold back and
Mm-hmm.
and so I guess that was why it was easy for me to stay out so long because I didn't feel the pressure. I didn't feel weird or lonely. I mean, I did at first. It felt, I went around my friends, but I made friends out here. So, that's how that went for me.
And so, how was being a Jehovah's Witness in the hall? Like, how did people basically treat you and interact with you?
Okay, so good question. So when I was in the hall, I was, my dad was an elder, so I was always involved with things because my father, and then I always pioneered. So I was always extrally, doing stuff. I was pioneering. I worked at the assembly hall. I was on the assembly hall crew. I was in the trucking department. I worked on. That's probably why I have a trucking business now.
Nice.
I used to do the bulldozers. Yeah, I did the bulldozers and the backhoes, all that kind of stuff. So I was always gun ho. And then up until I got his fellowship. And then when I got his fellowship, I was out here. So.
Wow. So what's the relationship with your parents now?
Well, now it's nothing, but up to, it was always cool, for a long time. Even when I was in fellowship, it's always been cool. But now that I'm saying, now that I'm talking, yeah, I'm the enemy. So that means they're on the side with the enemy. I love them, but they're on the wrong side. So that's what it is.
So are you Sean or what's that word called?
Yeah, this fellowship. Yeah, I'm Sean. But I don't know. See, I have some family members that up to a point I was still talking to. I don't know about now because I've been vocal this past, a little while ago. So, but that's what it is,
So when
my skin's gotten thick now. So before I can say probably a few years ago, I'll probably be a little funny about it, but that's what it is. That's what it is.
So when you mean when you mean vocal, do you mean like you argue with them about their religion or?
No. I mean, like me going online now. It's the first time I ever did this. I'm not even a social media guy. I just started doing this recently when I posted my first video on TikTok. And so, I got on TikTok. And so that was the first time I ever did a video explaining, what's going on. So because I want people to know. I want people to know why. For one, I've been in this fellowship and I've never been able to defend myself. People saying whatever the fuck they're saying about me, and I don't know what they're saying. Or they're just going by what my brother or my father or whoever is saying about me when they talk to me. So I figure, what? Let me go and say my side of the story.
Right. Right, because it's usually a one-side story where, of course, growing up Jehovah's Witness, we're always right. So whatever they say is right, and then you're always wrong, regardless what it is. And especially, I've interviewed some people who were raped and molested, and even them, they were wrong, regardless. And
crazy. That's crazy shit, man.
Yeah. And that totally hurt people really deep because, especially if you disbelieve, that's one thing. But if you're really into it and someone does that to you and then they call you Bathsheba, that's messed up.
That's crazy. That is crazy. It's just, I don't know. We got to do something about it. That's why I'm talking.
So when did your faith start dwindling? That's the word.
Wow. Man, it was, man, it's crazy. I'm never going to forget the moment it happened. So it happened last year, basically. I was in Ohio with my family, and we're doing a whole Zoom thing now. They do Zoom meetings. And so it was a meeting. It was a watchtower talking about the 144,000. and about the memorial and who's going to be partaking of the emblems or whatever. I remember reading something in there about if anyone partakes of the emblems, then something's wrong with them. Something's mentally, they don't know what they're doing. Like they actually would challenge people intelligence if they were partaking of that. If you believe you're going to heaven, you believe you're going to heaven. But to them, I don't know. It's just that made me start digging in, because that was different than what they said before. I had never heard that before. And so I started digging into more about the 144,000 and the real history about it, the real teachings and how they've changed their doctrines several times over. And then what is the one? We will never die thing. No one will ever die in this generation, whatever. So I started digging more and more detail. There's a few people on YouTube I will give some credit to. One guy named Fifth. They call him the Fifth. Another one, the Critical Thinkers. I started watching their video. So I started watching a bunch of people, and they're pointing out things I never even thought of before. But the number one deal was after that meeting, that same Watchtower, I downloaded Brother Frank Francis, I forgot his whole name. Yeah, right. The book.
The one who wrote the book, yeah.
Oh my God. I could not stop reading that thing. I mean, before it was Corona, so we had nothing to do anyways. So I'm in there like reading that shit every day, man. I couldn't stop reading. It was crazy. I like all these things that I've been taught my whole life. Like, hold up, man. And so I showed my boy a picture, a screenshot of the Matrix, with the pill. Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like when I started waking up, it felt like I was in the fucking Matrix. I felt like I was Keanu Reeves, man. I had to take the pill. And everything that I've been taught was bullshit. And for me, it was extra bullshit because I was so gung-ho. I was like so fucking go-home in the hall, man. Like we were like, me and my guys were at the top, like how you were. I was on assembly. I was rugged pioneer early. I had messed up and still pioneered after that. And I still was on the assembly. That's how gung-ho I was. I was going to go to Bethel, but to realize all that was bullshit. Wow, man. It's like it's a shock, bro. It's a shock.
Well, Bethel is a funny thing because I was going for Bethel as well. And then a brother, my oldest brother, we never had a good relationship. The only relationship we had was abuse. Like he would just bully me. But then when I was going, I don't know if it was based on jealousy or based on he was trying to save me. One time he kind of brisked me around and he was saying, don't you go to Bethel, because if you do and you mess up, you're going to be homeless and you're going to be on the street, because he has homies that went to Bethel. And then once they mess up, their family don't want them back in the house. So what do? You got no money, you got no career, nothing, you got no home to go back to. And he says, you better work, save your money, and live your life. And if anything happened, then at least you have basically money and a career. And so, of course, I didn't listen to him. I because there's a process to go to Bethel. I went through that process anyway. But while going through that process, when I moved out of my parents' house, and then I think 6 weeks later, I had my first sex encounter. And then I was just like, you know what? There's no going back ever. So fuck this. Because I feel like once I mess up, what am I gonna put my tail between my leg and confess and be in front of the jury? I don't think so. So I just never.
I did that shit. I did that. I mean, it happened to me because I got snitched on. And well, the first time when I was a kid, 15, I told on myself. I ain't gonna lie, it was crazy because I felt so guilty. I was a kid. I was 15 years old. They know that I was doing. Shit happened, and I told my father. I felt bad, but after that, I don't know. I didn't feel bad no more. 19, 20 years old, it just things happened, and then I couldn't be fake though. I couldn't be going to the hall knowing I did this. So I did tell, especially when the girls were saying what they were saying about me. I had to confess. Yeah, I did this. I remember one thing. I never forget this question, man. I never forgot this shit. This is the one thing. I remember being in the meeting one time. They doing a little quiz, and they asked me, "Did the girl give me oral sex or something?" I never I never thought, why the fuck did he ask me that question? And then the dude act like it was a bad thing. I never understood that. I'm like, this nigga ain't getting no head. I'm sorry. I said,
he probably wasn't getting any, yeah.
But I'm like, damn, that's crazy, man. That's crazy that they're that damn strict. And so, I don't know. It's crazy.
So your parents are still Jehovah's Witnesses and your family?
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, I have like basically my grandfather had six sons, and all of them became witnesses.
Wow. So did you say I'm kind of confused with the timeline. You haven't been Jehovah's Witness for 20 years?
I haven't been, but I never really gave up on it. You know, I kind of kept the belief. So because I kept the belief, I would go to the hall every so often. My family still stayed, you know, pretty cool with me. You know, they didn't show me all the way. You know, when I see them, they would talk to me, all that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't go to family functions. I didn't go to no parties, or I haven't been none of that in 20 years. It's just, if I saw them somewhere on the street, whatever, yeah, they were cool. But now,
oh, I see.
Now it's a different story, probably.
Well, that makes sense, because it seems like even when you're disfellowshipped, if you still, you know, when they say, when are you coming back to Jehovah? If you go back to Jehovah, they can still talk to you because at least you're trying. But if you're now labeled an apostate, is that how I call it?
Apostate.
Apostate.
And you know what? And you know what? Fuck that title, man. That's what they call us. I'm not gonna let nobody label me. Fuck that shit. I hate. I mean, I've seen some people out here call themselves that. Man, I'm not that. I'm a king. I'm myself. You know what I'm saying? So fuck that label and whatever they call me. They can call me that if they want. I know what I am. I know what you are. We're kings, man.
Exactly. Definitely. I never even want to care to know if they made a little speech about me. I just left and changed my number, because they were calling and texting back then. And I just changed my number. Like, I've had this number for almost 20 years now. I left around 2002 or 3. All exactly. Around those times. So, yeah, but last year, and I think like every year, my mother reached out to me because of memorial, because their duty, they have to reach out regardless of what happens. So she makes a new number each time, and I block her, not because of anything like animosity. I just block her because I feel like it's kind of like, I understand it's your duty and because you believe in your religion, but it's like disrespectful when I don't want to doing any part of it, and you just want to put it in my face, kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like they don't want to put the world in their face, but then they want to put their stuff in their face. Like, not cool. So why were you disfellowshipped?
I was fucking too much. No. But yeah.
Hey,
that's it.
Normal human stuff.
Honest. Yeah, I was being a normal kid, man. I was a normal guy, and you know, girls were coming at me and stuff, and like, I don't know, that was it. You know, it was crazy. It wasn't even girls that was like in the so-called world. It was girls in the hall.
Wow.
Oh man.
Really?
It was. Yeah, they were the worst ones. Man, I'm gonna tell you how bad it was. I'm gonna be honest, man. I know my girl going, man, but look, I used to keep lotion in my fucking glove department, bro. Lotion. I would pick these girls up and they would jack me off and shit. These sisters, man. Yeah.
You know, my question was gonna be, were they worldly people, but
yeah, like they over there, like I grabbed pour lotion out, we started kissing.
Wow. You know, when I spoke to so many people in those groups to the podcast, and I can never stop being amazed, because I thought of course, being Jehovah's Witness, you live in a bubble, but I was into a bubble. I knew none of this stuff. And
now look, man, I was always listen. There's a lot of like witnesses they're gun ho, but there are a lot of like they're right there on the fence, man. They're like right there.
I had no idea.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yeah. That's why those ones I'm going after. I'm going after the ones that are right there on the fence. They already kind of question things, anyways. Right. Yeah, the ones that's on the fence, the ones that are new, that are trying to figure things out.
Right.
And then because no one's telling them, because like once you get in, they get in deep. You've already cut off all your former friends, all your former family members. Now all you have are witness people. And so now when they cut you off, you have nobody. And a lot of people can't deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with having no one. That's why I've heard that from several people I've talked to. They don't want to lose everyone they know. And so what I want to do, I want to help those people. Like, look, man, we can build our own thing. Right. We don't need these fuckers. Let them be lost. If they want to stay lost, let them be lost and be in that fucking zombie state. If they want to wake up, come on. That's what I'm talking to. Those want to wake up and defend themselves and defend those kids out there who aren't being defended.
Right. It is like being in a narcissistic relationship or relationship where everything's great. When you join Jehovah's Witness, it's like the best thing ever. And then they start telling you in relationship to, oh, don't talk to your parents anymore. Get rid of your friends. Quit your job. I'll take care of you and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you start being abused and then you have nowhere to go to. That's exactly
the religion. That's exactly what it is. Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. And this is why a lot of people call it a cult. Would you also call it a cult?
I'll call it a cult. I also call it, I would give them, one thing I've learned about war, and when you balance somebody, you have to learn their strengths, learn what they've done. And I would give them credit for something that I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about this. And this is this. You think about each individual kingdom hall, right? Kingdom hall is made up of what? Congregations. These congregations are made up of what? Different people from different neighborhoods in that area. So you have local plumber, local painter, local guys who really aren't, I'm not trying to down anybody, but there's regular guys in any other situation, even at their job, even if they're a regular guy. But at the kingdom hall, if you become an elder, you're the king, kingdom hall. You're the king of that area. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. These guys are around, they're elders for 20, 30 years. People look at these guys, they're like gods. Oh, brother, this guy, he's been an elder for 30, 40 years. Whatever he says is law. That's how it is. These guys have their own kingdom. So these young guys like me when I was young, we seen these elders. That's who we want to be. You see these men in steel service. You want to be right, because that's the next level. You want to be the pioneer because that's the next step up. So Bethel, like you strive for these positions of power. Think about it, it's power. Because when you get this, what you get power, you get the girls looking at you. I mean, that's the facts, because when I had position, I had the girls anyways. I mean, and then when you have position, you can even got, man, it's ridiculous. Even the ugly fat motherfuckers were getting girls. Like, how the hell this dude get this pretty girl? Because he was an elder at 25 years old. That's how he got that pretty girl. In any other situation, he'll be on YouTube or he'll be online.
It's true, yeah.
But because he's an elder, he gets the cream of the crop. That's the truth, man. I'm talking real. Real. You guys know it.
Yes, speak the truth. Thank you for that. So how do you feel about Jehovah's Witnesses now, or the people you grew up with in the hall? Basically, like, can you see their bullshit they were going through? Could you see through it? What do you think of Jehovah's Witnesses now?
So check it out. So I got my boys, and if they hear this, they see this, y'all know who I'm talking to. I got my guys, right? And all my guys have been in trouble at one point or another. They've been in trouble, or y'all motherfuckers know it. I know the truth. I know where the bodies are buried, man. I know everything. So here's the deal. These guys, I want them to see the bullshit like I did. I want them to see, man, we were victims, man. These fuckers were using us. Yeah, basically, think about it. they look for the talented guys. They look for the guys that gun ho, the soldiers, the guys that's gonna go and follow directions, not question anything, but they got mad talent. They can talk well, they can think for themselves, they know how to defend themselves and other people. That's who they want. That's who become the top dogs. And then they make you in the elders because you have to be a little of a lion and be an elder because you got to go after people. You have to defend the congregation. So that's what these guys become. Little kings. Goes back to that little analogy I was using. Analogy. Yeah. You know, so learn that from the Kingdom Hall. So so anyways, these guys, they build people up. But then at the same time, the second you cross them, they kick your ass out and make everybody hate you, make everybody go against you. And then it's just you against a million motherfuckers. And like most people like, man, fuck this. You just go off and do whatever. And that's how I was doing it until I started to go back. When I went back, and honestly, I went back because all the people were dying. Corona was happening. People were dying everywhere. I had family members that were dying. People getting old. I'm like, damn, man, I want my mom. I won't lose this time with my mom because I'm out here in this world. So let me try to get back in. And as I'm going back in, I start seeing the bullshit. I start seeing so many things that were like corny as fuck, laughable. Like, how in the world y'all don't see this shit? But when you're in it, like you ever watch those videos, those online jw.org, man, what the fuck, man? If anyone else watches this shit, if it was on SNL or any other YouTube, people be laughing their asses off. But because it's such a devout witness, you're like, oh my God, listen to this brother. They're like zombies. Like I told my girl, they're zombies, man. And so I want them to wake up. And I think there are a lot of people out here talking. I haven't really seen I haven't seen a version like myself. I haven't seen, like I was saying, they're not talking loud enough. You know, I'm glad you're out here doing what you're doing. I hear other people, and I'm so proud of us for doing this. But I think we need to be louder. I think we can be louder. This social media is not being used enough. I want to use it more because these young people are powerful as fuck, man. I seen it with this TikTok thing the other day. I'm like, I've never been in that shit in my life. And like, how the hell I got all these followers? Like, what the fuck? This is crazy because I'm talking real. And these young people here, they see it. And that's all they want, man. And I learned that from honestly, from doing the street shit, doing these guys, when you're in the world and you're in these streets, they see through bullshit. These young boys, they see when you corny, they see when you fake, they see when you full of bullshit, they see it, they read it, especially when they've been through some shit. And so that's honestly why I woke up like I did. When I came back to the hall, I was a gangster. When I was in the hall, I was a straight guy. I was, a good guy. When I came back, I was G'd up. I've been in prison. I've done all kind of wild shit. I got a whole lot to tell you, man. And so those things have made me sharp. Those things have made me see through shit that other people probably don't see. So when I'm at the hall, I'm like, hold on, what the fuck? Everything they say, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is all bullshit. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm seeing it. I got my oldest daughter trapped in it because honestly, I just woke up. While she's trying to figure out life, I'm still kind of promoting it, and instead of me turning it down and telling her the bad things about it, I'm kind of promoting it. And my mom, my family. And now my oldest daughter and my mom is what motivated me the most. My mom motivated me I want to get back in to spend time with her before she leaves. But then as I start waking up, I'm like, I got to get my daughters out of here. My youngest two, I feel confident they're not going to be part of that bullshit. But my oldest daughter, she's all the way in there. So, that's my goal. Hopefully one day to get her out.
Wow.
So that's all I can do.
So you got have children in the being Jehovah's Witness, and okay.
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's my fault, man, because honestly, when I got this fellowship, like I said, I still held on to the beliefs. And so when the second mother of my children, when we had our kids together, when she was pregnant, actually, I started talking to her about the hall, about the Bible. And I talked about it so much that she wanted to learn more about it. And she wanted our daughters to be raised up in it. Because that's how much I talked about it, even when I was fellowship. Mm-hmm. So I regret that now, but because I never studied it. I never researched shit. I just was like a zombie myself.
Yeah, same.
So
okay. So question for you. Talking
yes,
about waking up people. Do you I feel like, when they say ignorance is bliss, and I feel like some people, if they are blissfully happy in where they're at, is it necessary to wake them up for whose sake? For yours or theirs? Like, how do you feel about that? Have you thought about that?
It's a good point. It's like this. It's a combination. It's as if you live in your house, in my neighbor over there. I see smoke come out the window. Now, so the house burns down. I'm not going to lose anything by that. But at the same time, why would I sit here and let that happen? Why would I let the smoke come out and I don't do nothing about it? I'm going to go over there, knock on their door, get them the fuck out as best I can, call ambulance, do whatever I can to help that family get out their house and save what they have. Even if they don't see the value of it, man, do something. And then if they say, fuck you, whatever, okay, whatever, no big deal. I feel good. I'm still feel good. I'm gonna go take a shit and feel good about myself. I ain't worried about them. but at the same time, there are people that's in there and they don't know certain things. That's how I really feel. I really feel that certain people don't know. Like myself, up to last year, I did not know certain things that I know now. And so I want to expose. Fuck yeah, I want to expose. I want to let them know. And I'm not cool about it. I guess, I said life may be hard, and so I'm not talking to them soft. I'm not coming at them like, please, whatever. No, man. Fuck the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are allowing bullshit to happen. Y'all are allowing molesters to walk around in the Kingdom Hall and be cool and hug up on the sisters and hug up on my daughters like it's cool. Man, fuck that. Fuck that. And I'm gonna tell you something that happened. I'm gonna be some honest truth. Yeah. These kids are young. These girls, I have daughters. These girls are 13, 14 years old, and they're doing normal shit that the girls do. They have sex. And then they feel bad about it and talk to these brothers. Now they have to go into a room. They're not even 14, 15 years old. And they got these grown, weird-ass dudes asking questions like I know about these questions. They ask me the same weird-ass questions. It's like, what the fuck, y'all weird, gay? I don't give a fuck what they are, but why are you coming to me like that? I'm a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid when I was 15 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't even ask those kind of questions, man. That's some bullshit.
It's inappropriate.
And people,
definitely.
Yeah, it's not appropriate. And people, and they need to be checked. They need to be checked and not checked in a cool way. Like, hey, I'm gonna write them a letter. Please stop. No, fuck y'all motherfuckers. Stop doing that shit.
Right.
I'm Malcolm Xing in this bullshit. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
There needs to be a Malcolm X out here. You know what I'm saying? Talking real, talking lies to these fuckers, man. Because right now, no one else is doing it. And we can do it. I like your channel. I like what you're doing. The videos I'm doing. We keep doing this. We're gonna wake some motherfuckers up.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
how I feel.
Thank you for that. And so, what did you mean by I'm at war on the DM?
I'm at war. All right. Okay. I ain't going into long stuff about that, but it's real simple. I cannot go another day knowing what they're doing. Hearing all these stories about, like, for example, a lady in Utah, 15 years old, she got raped. It was a recording of the rape. The brothers made her, they replayed the tape in the meeting for hours at hand, asking her questions. She had to relive this shit, man. Not only talk about it, had to hear it. What kind of, man, no. So stuff like that, all these other hundreds of examples of that continuing to happen, gotta stop it, man. That alone needs to be stopped. The 2 witness rule. Come on. 2 witnesses have to be there. So this guy can basically molest this little girl, this little boy, her word against him. They don't even report it to the cops. So he never goes to jail or nothing. He may get in trouble. He can't comment or something. He can't have his little privileges for 6 months. Yeah, so they would get in trouble, for example, and they'll, be disfellowshipped or reproved for 6 months. And 6 months back, they molested, he can come right back into the hall and target another kid, or wait a little while and get close to another family and spend time with them. Like he's helping them. I'm gonna help them move. I'm gonna help the sister move. But all of a sudden now he's helping the little kid do a little project and he's touching on the kid, taking the kid off for little walks and other weird shit. So they need to expose these fuckers, man. They need to stop them. Even if other witnesses are doing what they're doing, expose the molesters.
Right.
They got a secret file. That's crazy.
Well, the thing is, I feel, I don't remember which exactly the verse, but the verse where give to Caesar and basically do not let Caesar into the religion kind of a thing to manage.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand that, but they're so rigid with that rule. That's why they're not calling the cops. But if they're calling the cops, and I feel like that issue probably would be eradicated because people would be like, okay, there's so many examples of people being arrested. So they would either stop doing it or if they do it, they'll get in trouble. But because they're not calling the cops, that's why it's going rampant because of that rigid rule.
Yep. I believe what it is, it's a combination. It's a combination of them trying to keep the organization looking good.
Right.
And then at the same time, it's guys that have positions of power. They want to keep the power. That's what it is. And they want to keep the influence. And so we got to attack them. We got to attack the fuck out of them. Let the world know what they're about. Because other countries are doing it. Australia already doing it. But America in here, they're not doing it enough. In Australia, I can send you a link on that. I have articles I can send you. They had a thing a few years ago. They actually went after the governing body was brought in. They had 2 or 3 elders on stands, and they actually lied on stand. A couple of elders came out and actually exposed them lying. Like y'all are under oath, and y'all lied. It's like that. It was about the same thing. Some kid had got molested, and they ended up winning the case. They winning some money, but it was a big thing, blown up, big time. Wow. I have 4 or 5 links I'll send you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when you expose
it's like not even understand, like if you are actually practicing what's in the Bible, they shouldn't lie for the reason of being religious anyway. So they totally know they're doing something wrong. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they always talking about, that's the thing, they talk about Catholics and other religions, but they didn't talk about them. I mean, theirs is worse. Theirs to me is worse. Because they're going around and these guys never get any type of trouble about it at all. I mean, it's crazy.
Right. Well, you know how it is. Most in psychology way, and I don't know if you did that. I did that when I was a kid, and my siblings did that when we were a kid. Once the older kid or the younger kid got in trouble, what they do is they tell on the older kid first, and they like badmouth them so they can look good. So that's what they're doing. They're like talking about the Catholics all the time. And then we ate it up and we believed it as if they're good.
Believed it, yeah.
And then when it's happening to us, it's like, even it happens, those things didn't happen to me, but they happened to my sisters. And one of them been out for a while, but the other 2 are still there and it happened to them. So I don't know what's going on through their minds, but you know what they say, it's like the religion is not bad, it's just a few bad apples kind of a thing. But still, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. So did you ever feel safe being a Jehovah's Witness when you were?
Yeah, as far as yeah, I felt safe. I felt okay.
Oh, so you didn't know these stories until like last year, you mentioned, right?
Yeah, like basically, I didn't know it was this bad. I heard of a couple stories of some people, you know. I knew it was going through things, but I didn't know it was like this. I didn't know the cases was like this bad all over the world, like this, hundreds and hundreds of cases. And then them knowing about it, not doing anything about it. That's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to know, when you were misbehaving, when you were being part of the hall, what was your thought process? Did you feel, were you misbehaving because you didn't believe, or did you, because you say you believe, but like, because I want to understand your thought process, because like me, if I believe in something, because I'm stubborn, I'm like 100% about it. Kind of.
So that's the thing. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing. I was 100% about it. But okay, so the first time I was 15, you know, I was 100% to the hall, everything, but then I was in summer school. I'm around girl every day, all day for 4 hours by ourselves. I mean, one thing will happen, you know, one thing leads to another. Before you know it, boom. So I felt bad. I mean, I felt bad about that. I was a kid, whatever. But when I got older, I don't know. I did feel bad, but it just, I don't know. At the same time, I kind of kept it to myself and to the girl. They came out with it, and then that's what happened.
Oh, the girls.
I got a story to tell. Yeah, I got a story about that. I gotta admit this, man. This is funny shit. Okay. No, but I was throwing parties. Right? And so this is about myself. So I knew I was gonna get disfellowshipped. I already went to the brothers. And so they was gonna announce my name, like I forgot what it was, like on a certain day or whatever. But my party was like that fucking Saturday. I had this big ass party. Everybody was coming. I said, hell no, man, I can't get this fellowship before my party. And so they had something called appeal. So I appealed it. I knew what the fuck I was doing. I used their bullshit against them. And so I appealed it to buy myself some time. So I threw my party that Saturday, went out, did my thing. And then they announced my name the following week that I got this fellowship after I threw the party.
Oh, Jehovah's Witness party?
Fuck. Yeah. But it was like all my friends though. It was all my friends. It was a big ass thing. So I put my money and time into it.